My dear family, I am sure that most of us have seen the famous painting of our Lord's Last Supper. Whenever I look at that image, the disciples seem to be in a very deep conversation. They're looking at each other, pointing, and they seem to have a very interesting conversation. Maybe they're talking about who is the one who is about to betray Jesus. They don't know. So that's probably what they're talking about. But I've always wondered what exactly they spoke. What was it that they were speaking at the Last Supper? What was the topic? What were they talking about? Thankfully, the answer comes from today's gospel. Today's gospel comes from a section in John's gospel called the Last Supper Discourses. In other words, what they talked about at the Last Supper. It is a very long section in John's gospel where it talks about all sorts of conversations with Jesus and his disciples. Some call this section the farewell of Jesus. He is basically preparing his disciples for his upcoming crucifixion and how they are supposed to live afterwards. He tells them during that conversation that he is the true vine, that those who want to follow him need to be his branches, and that they need to belong to him. He goes so far as to say that whoever does not belong to him will wither and will die. Sometimes we may feel tempted to want to follow Jesus, but on our own terms, to belong to him in our own way. Or in other words, we may feel tempted sometimes to want to follow him from afar, to follow him with our own terms and conditions, only when it is convenient for me. We want all the fruits without the pruning. Today's gospel, my dear family, serves as a reminder that in order to belong to him, we need to be his branches. And yes, we need to be pruned by him, cut off the things that do not belong to him, that keep us from becoming good, healthy branches. If it is a particular vice, let it be pruned. If it is an over-attachment to material things or to things of this world, let the attachment be pruned. Let us bear fruit and let us be pruned by him. How do we do that? How is that possible? It's easier to say it, but how is that done? In that conversation during the Last Supper, Jesus tells them that the way to do it is to listen to his word and to let him live in you, and he will live and he will live in him. He says that this pruning happens by listening, by following. Not only that, but by belonging to him, belonging to a community. Let us then, my dear family, detach from any vices. Let us be pruned by him. Let us grow with him in this vine, and let us remain in him so that he may remain with us.